What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So today I'm going to answer a couple of questions. I always get a lot of questions, and you guys are really, really good about asking me things that I want to make videos about. And so that's what we're going to do today. But first off, if you guys can do me a favor, please like the video, please subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification, and then click all. By clicking all, you'll get notified anytime we put out a video. So by clicking the bell notification and clicking all, you should be getting updated every day because we do daily videos here. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I want to answer this question here, this first question. This is from Linda. Linda, thank you for the question. What is the maximum amount of Social Security for a single person? Okay, this is an excellent question, and I encourage you guys, let me pull up my screen here. So I encourage you guys to go over to my channel, and you can click on any of the videos, any of my latest videos, and it will take you over to, let's pause this, we'll take you over to my links. And then from those links, you'll be able to go to the spreadsheet, and it gives you all of this information, okay? Put in your email address here, and then answer this question. Now, I've done this several times before, but I want to continue to do it just for people who are coming in. You might not watch all of my videos, and this might be the first time that you're watching one of my videos. So you can go over to this form, put in your email address, and then a link will come up here. Just click on that link. It will take you over to this spreadsheet. Now, this spreadsheet is the 8.7% increase, the COLA increase. And so it will show you if you're currently receiving $264 a month, this is what the increase will be, $23. And there's your total there, $287. Now, we have a new maximum, and that's what I think this person was asking. What is the new maximum for 2023? Because because of the COLA increase, it will be adjusted. So let's go. And if you go all the way down to the bottom of the spreadsheet, you'll find the maximum, okay? And let's look at the old maximum, and then we'll take a look at the new. So the old maximum was $4,194. Now, understand this. This is for a person who is at full retirement age, actually over full retirement age. So at age 70, if you collect, you get a couple of bonuses, because if you can collect at 66 or 67, but if you wait until 70, you'll get extra. And it's the equivalent of 8% every year that you wait. Now, 70 is the max. You can't go past 70, or you can go past 70, but you're not going to receive any extra benefits. So right now, $4,194. That's at age 70. And so at an 8.7% increase, COLA increase, that's $365. So that is the increase, $365. Now, what is the total? So what will your check look like? Your check is going to be $4,559. Okay, that's the maximum Social Security for one individual. And so hopefully that answers your question. And this will come into play from December 30th. The first checks will start going out as far as the increase. You'll see that increase amount. That will be for people receiving SSI and people who are receiving SSI and Social Security. Now, in January, that's when you'll start seeing the increases for everyone else. Okay, so I just want to put that out there. I know there's been a little bit of confusion, and I've had some people who have in the comments, they've stated, well, you know, it says, I received this letter and it says in December, that's when the increase will start. That is true. In December, the increase will start, but it will be December 30th, okay, not your first check. So some people receive a check December 1st, December 3rd. Those checks should not reflect an increase, okay? Now, I've had some people that have said, no, this is what they're telling me, and then I've also had some people that have told me, no, my check is the same. It didn't show that COLA increase, and it shouldn't. So if it does, because we're coming close to December 1st, that's tomorrow, let me know in the comments below, and I can share that information if you do see an increase, the COLA increase in your check. But it should be December 30th. That's the information that we were given. Okay, one more thing. I want to answer one more question here. And this was a pretty interesting question. Actually, it wasn't even a question. It was more of a statement that this person was making. And I like this because I like that people are making statements like this because we can talk about it and we can kind of move forward. I think one of the major problems that we have when it comes to the average Joe looking at politicians, we don't really follow politicians, right? So we don't know what's going on. And so this is good for us to have this dialogue and talk about what's really going on when it comes to people who are retired and people receiving Social Security. So let's go ahead and take a look at this statement here. And so this is Buck. Buck, thank you for the statement. The Democrats had a chance to give $200 raise, and he's talking about the raise for Social Security. They had the House, the Senate, and the White House. They refused to give the raise. Don't blame the Republicans. And so there's Buck's statement there. Now, I want to talk a little bit about this because this is we need to focus on this. Yes, the Democrats had the House, the Democrats had the Senate, and the Democrats have the White House. And we didn't see a $200 raise, okay? But we have to look at the other factors because when it comes to the House, they can pass something through majority vote, okay? So if they wanted to pass a $200 raise, they could pass that through majority vote. But the Senate, that's where the problem lies because in the Senate, you need 60 votes. And so what that means is you need all 50 Democrats, at least right now, you need all 50 Democrats, plus you need 10 Republicans. If you can't get those 10 Republicans, you can't move forward with legislation because when it comes to Social Security and Social Security reform, you can't do it through reconciliation. And so in the Senate, they're going to need the 60 votes. So what that means is you need Republicans to support a $200 raise for Social Security. And unfortunately, Republicans aren't supporting any raise for Social Security. And Republicans have been clear about this. There's not a single Republican right now that is in favor of a $200 raise for Social Security. At least they're not coming out and saying they're for it. It's the opposite. You have a lot of Republicans right now in Congress that are wanting to tamp down Social Security. They're wanting to look into the finances when it comes to Social Security. They're wanting to make cuts when it comes to Social Security. And I know people are saying, well, no, Republicans, they don't want to cut Social Security. Just look at some of the politicians and what they say. Okay, you have Senator Lee in Utah who's openly said, we need to do away with Social Security and Medicare. And that was his goal back in 2010 when he ran the first time. And so I'm sure he's probably still in that camp where he wants to eventually do away with Social Security, but he hasn't spoken out about it in years. Okay, and that's because it's political suicide to do that because you have 70 million people who are currently receiving Social Security benefits, and if you're talking about cutting those benefits, that people don't want to hear that, right? And so when it comes down to it, yes, Democrats had control. And now they're not going to have control. So it'll be interesting to see what happens when it comes to any future legislation for people receiving Social Security and people who are retired. It's going to be very interesting to see if Republicans in the House can move forward with any type of legislation. Right now, we haven't heard anything. Right now, I think the main focus of Republicans is to get the committee assignments and start to focus on some of these different investigations. That's what they're taking up right now, or at least that's what they want to take up when they come in January. And so Social Security right now is not on the table, at least in the House. And so you need all of these things to work, okay? It's not just the president saying that he supports a $200 raise for Social Security. That doesn't move the ball forward. You actually need Congress to draft up a bill and move it through Congress. So it has to pass the House, it has to pass the Senate, and then go to the president so he can sign off on it. And we just didn't see it. We didn't see it in the last 2 years. One thing that needs to happen, we need to have Social Security reform. Okay, they need to do something about the trust fund. The trust fund will go bankrupt in 2035. If it goes bankrupt, that would mean an automatic cut of about 20% when it comes to Social Security benefits. I think some politicians want to wait until right before 2035 to address this because that gives them more leverage when it comes to making cuts to Social Security. Because if a politician were to tell you, okay, it's 2035, there's nothing that we can do right now. You're going to see an automatic 20% cut if we don't do anything. But you know what? We'll step in and the cut will be less. It'll be 10%. But they'll still get the cut. And so that's where the danger is. And so the hope is that they can take up something when it comes to reforming Social Security, and then also look at an increase to Social Security in the future. And so right now we know that the Republicans will be running the House, the Democrats will be running the Senate, and then we have the Democrats in control of the White House. So we know the players. We're just going to have to figure out if they're going to move forward in the next 2 years with anything when it comes to Social Security. I want to know what you guys think about this whole thing. And we shouldn't really be blaming parties. The Democrats didn't do this or the Republicans didn't do that. We need to know the politicians that are in favor of moving forward with a raise for Social Security, who are in favor of moving forward with Social Security reform. That's who we need to be focused on, because we can go back and forth and say it's the Democrats' fault, it's the Republicans' fault, and not move forward. And that's what's been going on. It's just each side blaming each other and nothing gets done. So what we need to focus on, what politicians are in favor, and I'll be letting you guys know a little bit more when it comes to politicians and the different legislation that they want to move forward when it comes to Social Security. That's what we need to focus on, because once you find out who is in favor of it, then you can start finding out who's not in favor of it, and then that's when you can start voting those people out of office if that's something that needs to happen, or at least putting pressure on them to do something about Social Security, and maybe that will be enough to get them to vote in favor of Social Security reform, as well as a raise for Social Security. So I want to know what you guys think, so let me know down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.